Richard, good. Glad I caught you. I have a bit of a question, a query, a problem. I wouldn't say a problem. It's a bit harsh, but with one of our clients that I need to bring up with you.
Okay, right. What seems to be the problem, Richard?
You know 80s sensation pop group The Human League?
I am vaguely aware of their work.
Well, they're
yes.
they're actually very good clients of ours. We send them out to gigs all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They come up on stage. They do a rocking performance of "Don't You Love Me, Baby."
They did that the water crisis thing a little while ago, didn't they?
What's water?
Then the crisis out in Africa. They did the fundraiser for that, didn't they?
What's Africa?
Never mind.
But yeah, you know, we send them out to gigs all the time. They come on, give us a rousing sensation of "Don't You Want Me, Baby," followed by their smash hit "Electric Dreams," followed by a brilliant rendition of "Don't You Want Me, Baby," and then followed by an encore of "Don't You Want Me, Baby." It's brilliant show. The problem is that they've gone under... They've gone a bit of I wouldn't say a career change, but they're heading in a certain artistic direction that I don't necessarily
They've not got the big black masks
with.
out again, have they?
No,
it's not a stylistic thing.
Well, it's sort of a stylistic change. They've actually gone through some of their old lyrics and changed them, and also they've changed their name.
Right.
Which is a bit worrying, because I think that the name The Human League actually has quite a bit of star power behind it. People love "Don't You Want Me, Baby."
And people love this idea of humans joining together in a group. Like with the tables and like match competitions and league finals and championships and things like that. So Human League encapsulates both of those things perfectly.
You actually bring up the crux of the situation, I should mention. Because I'd seen this career move happening for a while, and I admit I did nothing, and in part that makes me part of the problem.
Well, you didn't think of it in the first place.
Well,
so
no,
not,
I figured
you weren't the brainchild for it.
I figured they were leaning towards it, but I never quite felt that they were actually going to go, full hog with this situation.
And now they have.
They have officially changed their name to the Human Defence League. And they're spreading messages of hate against any creature that is not a human.
See, now, this may not be that big a problem. Because, think of it this way, okay? So if they were spreading hate against certain members of the population, that would be bad, yes? Because they can talk
obviously.
back.
There was that time where they started saying some really awful things about Lebanese people.
I don't know why Lebanese...
It's very specific, wasn't it?
Fixated on, it wasn't even that, it was one street in Lebanon, that was it. There was Charles Street in Lebanon is the only part of Lebanon they had a problem with. Everyone else, not a problem. You lived on Charles Street, didn't want to know.
What he did to that man, whose name was Charles Street.
Which was the really, really weirdly ironic bit. The chances of that happening were astronomical.
Well, it's his fault.
Unfortunate enough to be stuck with that name from birth, and then that was it. Flying missile dropkick. Done for.
Well, it's his fault he was walking around with a shirt saying, "I'm Lebanese," by the way.
Again, might be our fault. We did design those t-shirts in the first place, but no,
True.
Anyway. So, might not be that big of a problem, because you see, humans can talk back. Things that aren't humans can't.
Well, I know, but it's getting a little bit of a farce. Last week, Philip Oakey, the lead singer of the Human League, burned a cross outside a duck pond.
So even now, it's even kind of like... It's sort of like hate motivated, but using symbols and iconography that the ducks can't understand.
No! That's the thing. He was pointing at a zebra and saying, "Look at it, it's against the god." He didn't say which god, he just said the god.
The god. Well, I think, in his opinion, he is, the closest mouthpiece to God. So I think he kind of, like Moses on the top of the hill, he's, kind of getting these commandments in his head, then passing them down.
Well, no, he can't claim that again, because he claimed that fucking Human... The song that he claimed to have written, or the song he claimed to receive on stone tablets from upon high, they're not. I've seen his notebook.
I know, right? It's just from Wilco's.
He's a liar for a start.
I know. I saw him trying to go hammer and chisel into his notebook in Wilco's, went straight through it. Awfully angry.
He gets through a lot of notebooks. He keeps billing them to us, which is worse.
And then he grabbed a big cross and a big a barrel of gasoline and went, right, that's it. Those little ducks are going to get it. And again, I didn't stop him then either. So this is now partially my fault. But my kind of way of thinking of this is, animals can't talk back. So it's not like he's going to say, "Oh, lemurs are all fucking idiots."
He has said that, though.
And then all the lemurs are going to go, "Oh, well, we've taken offence to that," and start marching up and down his house and things like that. They've not got any kind of reasonable sense of recourse. They can't do anything.
No.
As I say, I would say it was victimless, but then that was a time he did kick the head off a seal.
I wouldn't say it's victimless.
And not even that wasn't the worst time. The worst time was when he kicked the head off the musician seal.
Yeah, I mean,
Because there was a slight mix-up of what he actually was. He was like, oh, he's a seal man, flying missile dropkick, bam, came
he's
straight off.
very good at that flying missile dropkick,
He must have been watching loads of WWE. He keeps saying to me, oh, can I borrow your subscription, your password things to watch the latest WWE? I'm like, no, not anymore. Not anymore.
The thing is, I don't think it was necessarily an accident with Seal, because I know he has gone to many houses of people who have the last name Fox and been just writing really offensive, like, not racist, but attempts at racist slurs on the door.
Like, all foxes can't do maths.
I mean, what's a fur fuck? What kind of, like, racial slur can you just make up on the spot like that?
I mean, like, it's kind of a very... to be fair, that's the thing that's really annoying me, is the fact that he's not even very good at it.
No, he's putting the thing is, okay, I thought he was putting no effort in, but clearly he's putting a lot of effort into it, and that's what's upsetting.
I mean, he did print those cards out saying all polecats are vermin, and he's been going around popping them through, like, sort of the doors of polecats. And then I keep trying to explain to him polecats don't live in houses.
The big problem there is that it was raining when he handed those out, and the cats kind of got erased.
Yeah, no,
and then he came across as a bit racist.
Yeah, no, I did hear a lot of people being very angry about that. Like, they knocked him up a gallows, like, anything quick as that, though. I've got to say, their craftsmanship was spectacular. Like, but they weren't happy. I mean, like, he's been going around the foxes' houses. He was, like I say, he did the incident at the duck pond. He's hit Seal. Like, it's getting out of hand. I don't know what we're going to do with him.
It is getting quite out of hand. The thing is, like, the more I think about it, though, like, because I've seen some news articles based around what things he's written on the internet, because apparently he has a blog now, Humans Against Animals.
Well, I mean, because his whole big thing is, we rose to the top in evolution, now we should stay at the top. He seems to have this weird kind of fear that an animal farm situation is going to happen, and the pigs are going to start walking on two legs, and then start, taking over. And that's why you start cutting off the back legs of pigs.
Oh, that was him, was it?
So if they try and stand up, they just fall over.
I thought Gordon Ramsay was up to his old tricks again.
No, this is a rare time where it is actually the guy from the Human League doing all this.
Is Gordon Ramsay still in the basement?
I mean, I know his knife juggling act didn't go well, and he has had to have his arm reattached, so he's out of action for a little while now.
Oh, right. So he couldn't even get the legs off the pig if he tried.
No, and they are quick.
They are fast piggies he's got.
They are quick little piggies. But no, he's been sawing the back legs off pigs. He's been going, this little piggy's not going to go to market, because I'm going to fucking mutilate it! And it's honestly, it's a horrific state of affairs. I mean, he just seems to be really, really into it. But, like, grinning like a madman into it. And it's worrying me now.
The thing is, it does seem like a problem on the surface, but when you actually look into it, it's kind of uniting people. People seem to be appreciating the gospel of Oki.
So he's getting followers.
He's getting quite a few followers. I mean,
that's why all those horse kickings have been happening. People going around kicking in horses.
It is. I mean, I understand that a lot of people run on hate, but this group, the Human Defense League, they're calling themselves. It's a mixture of white, black, Asian. It's every race, creed, and colour. Gays, bisexuals, transgenders, cisgenders. Every spectrum of the genetic rainbow is within the Human Defense League, and it's kind of admirable looking at it like that.
He has kind of solved the problem of, like, people racism.
Maybe this is the solution to world peace.
We just kill every animal on the planet.
I mean,
a lot of the problems we have on this planet do come from animals.
Yeah.
Disease.
World War II was started by a gorilla.
Exactly.
Kicked Hitler's baby.
I've got some awful rumblings what's happening in the Middle East with the honey badgers, like, the honey badger militia that's kicking about. That's worrying me. So I feel like if we just concrete the entire planet, like he says we should do, and then there could be no animal life whatsoever, then I think we'd be better off. Why does he come down on things like plant life and trees? Is he all right with those, or are they next to go, do you think? Because it's like sort of a thin end of a wedge kind of situation.
The ones that are stationary are fine, but things like Venus flytraps that seem to think for themselves, even though they have no, like, real brain or anything, them he has a problem with. Especially the ones that, like, communicate with the animals and the bees. He doesn't like cross-pollination.
No, he's thinking they're middlemen.
Yeah,
they're getting the orders, and then... I did see him drop kick a wasp nest off Putney Bridge the other week.
Can we like sew some pillows to his feet? Because I'm getting sick of him kicking everything.
You know, I feel like his whole kind of solution to every problem in the world is kick it. And I mean, I think it's all right in certain scenarios. Oh, the microwave's not working. Give it a kick. But when, like, I mean, he's like punt kicking like ducklings and things like that. You know, I think that's when it gets a bit out of order.
When he's having a disagreement with his child, then it becomes a problem.
You see the foot start to go, like, twitch a little bit like that, and he starts to get like, oh, like it's really kind of, he grits his teeth, and you're like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. He starts looking around for a turnbuckle to jump off of. I think we should remove the wrestling ring from his house.
Yeah, that might be an idea.
Yeah, and try and keep his violence towards animals. If people are behind it, that's the beautiful thing about democracy. We can't decide what's right or wrong. It's what the masses decide.
Well, the thing is, because, like I say, I saw this happening, and even after they changed their names and went under the big sort of musical change, I figured, okay, maybe there's some way that we can keep this non-violent, keep it... So they promote human lifestyles over the animal lifestyles. Yeah. That's fine.
As long as they keep it kind of democratic and peaceful and...
It all went a bit sour after that squirrel shot up a school.
I think the main issue with it wasn't even the first one. I think it was like a long list at the end of all the squirrel shootings that really broke him in the brain. I think that's what it was, and finally made him go, no, we must do something about these squirrels with machine guns. Why would a squirrel need a machine gun? And he's got a point there. I can't see any sense in a squirrel having a machine gun.
Well, for how many years have we been telling the squirrels to change the Second Amendment?
And they keep saying, and I need an interpreter or something. I can't understand it. It just makes me angry. And like their furry, chubby little faces.
The squirrel constitution makes no sense anyway. I mean, the First Amendment, all squirrels have the right to bear nuts. Second Amendment, all squirrels have the right to bear arms. Third Amendment, all squirrels have the right to bear nuts. It just goes on like that forever.
It's kind of
nuts and arms.
It's kind of like the Human League set list up until this point.
Maybe after the string of shootings, like you say, maybe if we just focus the Human League Defense League. Sorry, I have to get that right. As Phil he will rear his leg up.
Yeah, like an angry horse.
Like an angry horse, like an angry Seth Rollins. Maybe if instead we just got the Human Defense League to focus their hatred on squirrels. Because clearly they're the ones that are doing the most damage. And cows.
Yeah, I think if we can kind of use him like as a puppet to eradicate these problems, then I think the world will be a better place. Now, the only thing that does worry me is about these lyric changes that he's been having. I mean, the song "Don't You Want Me, Baby" being changed to "Chainsaw All the Gorillas." And it doesn't even, like...
It's an awkward fit, isn't it?
I know.
Chainsaw all the gorillas. Chainsaw the gorillas now. It doesn't quite fit, does it?
It doesn't go. And I mean, that's what's worrying me. I mean, like, okay, whatever his political views aside are, we need to make sure that his music is still selling. And I don't think this vehement kind of vitriol against the animal kingdom's going to help him.
No.
I mean, I think that's where we should be focusing. Let him get on with that bit, tire himself out, and then we work on the CDs and things.
Well, before we get to that, I think also maybe a name change is in order. I understand, like, it's a bit of a play on words, the Human Defense League, but I think maybe we should look at some other names. Like, how about the Human Socialist Party?
That's a good one.
The Ku Klux Humans.
Yes, I like that one too.
Humankind Independence Party.
Fuck the animals.
Okay, so I think the way that we spin this is we contact the Daily Express, tell them that the Prime Minister is planning on flooding the UK with 100 million squirrel immigrants.
And then, that way, they'll start looking to the far, like, the anti-squirrel parties.
Namely, the Human Defense League.
Who's been very, very vehement at saying, no, we can't have all these squirrels, there's no room, we haven't got enough trees or nuts. They'll come over here, take all the jobs from our hard-working red squirrels, those grey bastards. And then the problem, there we go, that's ipso facto solved. No, because then the problem is he's going to be Prime Minister.
Oh, shit.
And he'll get us out of the United Squirrel Union. I mean, Squirrel Exit, I think it's going to take over the nation. And then what comes next then after Squirrel Exit? I don't know.
We'll have a huge bear recession.
Nathan, $1 million idea.
Right.
Get-rich-quick scheme. You know I'm really good with my get-rich-quick schemes.
Another one, right?
Yeah. You know the one I had last week about Schindler's List playing cards? And then the one I had the week before about Buffy the Vampire Slayer tampons?
Yeah.
I've got an even better one now.
It better be, because the last couple, they did not fly particularly well in Toys R Us.
I mean, they've not got past the prototyping stage yet, especially not the Buffy the Vampire Slayer
Maybe
tampons, because I realised when I was creating them, I don't know how a human vagina works.
No, they weren't particularly spiky.
Oh, I mean, it was more like, what I was thinking was just having like a blunderbuss kind of like applicator that just goes woof up the woman bits. But then again, I realised I didn't have any women to prototype them on since my mum left. So I'm that one's at a loss. That's a dead loss.
Is that how you killed that homeless?
Well, there is a bit of spate of them, but we won't go into that. That one's at a loss, right? So I've got a better idea, right? Get your nut round this. That's going to be funny in a moment when I tell you what the idea is, right?
Is it to do with squirrels? Because they're a bit of a problem in the media at the moment.
No, I'm just completely ignoring that. I've put my opinion out there on Facebook. I got horribly detracted against, so I've just decided to leave it. So...
Don't leave.
So, new idea, right? Wrap your mush around this, okay? Big Bang Theory condoms. Now, I know what you're thinking. Blake, that's a genius idea. Where can I buy 20? You haven't even heard the best bit yet. We're going to have a range of colours, a range of styles. We're going to have different characters, like different character packets for like different styles of sex.
Right, okay, let me stop you there. Can I ask, how do we actually link these to Big Bang Theory? Is this, like, is the
cosmetic.
tie... I know, but is it just going to be on the wrapping, or, like, are you going to, like, pull a condom over your cock just to have Sheldon's face on the head of your penis? Because that would be terrifying and horribly unattractive.
See, no, I thought that would be the big draw, you see, because that was mainly what I've done with the prototype. He stuck a photo of Sheldon on the end of a regular condom, and then put it on and wafted about in front of the mirror for a while and thought, that looks alright. But it's mainly cosmetic, so the boxes are going to have all the lovable characters from the Bog Bong Theory on there. You're going to have that woman one with the blonde hair.
I believe she's Penny.
Yep. Specky.
Leonard, I want to say.
Yeah, well, Reginald, I don't know what his name is.
Right.
The Indian one.
Gary?
I think it's Gary, right? I think it's Gary. And then the pervert as well.
Phil Oakley.
Yeah, it's gonna have. Yeah, so basically, what it's gonna have everyone there, right?
Right.
On the front, like, wrap up, be safe, have a good time.
Yeah, doing that weird pointy finger thing.
Yeah, they'll be on the front, like, kind of like doing a parody of like another famous sci-fi front cover or something. You know, like what they normally do with the Notebook, something like that. You know, they're famous for that, right? You open the packet, okay? Now, inside on the foil, right, it says Big Bang Theory condoms. So when you're with your sexual partner, you get them out, she's like, I'm in for a good time. This is going to be excellent, right? You open them. What happens when you open them? You open them, or sound files are inside. So you open it, the whole universe was in a hot, dense state. Da-da-da-da-da. You know, the theme song happens.
Do you think we could possibly get them to change the lyrics to say, your whole vagina is in a hot, dense state?
For 1,000 million years, but wait! Here comes your penis! It's going to open it, and Sheldon, he's going to be going, bazonga! As well. He does all the quotes and things that they do.
I was going to say, is there any way scientifically we can get it so that as soon as the man ejaculates, it can, like, you hear the condom just muffled inside go, bazonga!
See, no, I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that far through, but I think that would be an excellent idea.
But do you remember the last time we tried to put, like, microchips and soundboards on condoms?
They ended up like 3 foot wide, didn't they?
Yeah, that's why your mother left.
So, that being said, you open them, they do the little song and everything, you take them out, they're all different colours and all different styles. You know, they've got like kind of famous kind of comic book properties that they've used in the show on there, like The Flash, the fastest man alive. Hope you're not the fastest man alive in these condoms, you know, and they're all kind of themed around.
You can have Hulk smash bracket dat pussy.
Captain America liberating that vaginal space.
We'll work on the joke. We'll work on the jokes a little bit.
We'll work on that bit. But I'm thinking, right, so you take them out, right? You unravel them, you roll them over the penis, okay? They're kind of like, they're a bright red with a flash symbol on the top, right? And Bazinga written underneath it, you know? And then the Leonard one, it's kind of like blue, like a Superman kind of thing, right? So they're all themed. And the best bit is, they come with a little pamphlet inside that tells you what style of sex you're supposed to be using them for, right? So the lady ones, you use them for everybody. Because she's a bit of a slag, right?
Right.
Okay, you see?
Yeah.
You see?
Reusable condoms.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't matter how many times you're pumping them, you just slide that baby off, waft it about like a sock, and then it's all good to go again, you know? So that's her one. Leonard's one is for like kind of cosplaying and, you know, things like that. Because he likes dressing up, doesn't he? So that's his one.
Yeah.
Howard's is for like things that you think are kinky, but aren't quite kinky, you know? Because I think, like, he in the show is supposed to be like a kind of debonair, sexy character. But I think if you actually asked him to do, like, really kinky stuff, he'd be like, I'm not comfortable with that. So it's things like light BDSM.
Do you think I asked him to punch him in the face, he wouldn't go for it?
I think he'd be more like, oh no, I couldn't do that. Let me just wave a lightsaber around.
It doesn't have to be sexual. God, I just want to punch him in the face.
We do lightsaber condoms that glow in the dark. You get, like, two different ones and you duel. Like, you just knocking tips. But that's an idea for a different day. Put a peg in that and we'll come back to that.
Don't put a peg in there.
No, don't peg it. That's what the Sheldon ones are for. For pegging. Because he's very asexual. So you see, you jumped ahead there. You it makes sense, right? The idea makes sense. And then the Raj ones are for, like, when you're doing, like, exotic kind of Kama Sutra-y stuff. You know, like anal, kind of the elephant position, you know, things like that. The wife of Indra, when you're doing things like that, you know, that's his one. But here's the really excellent bit. Inside are semen-activated tattoos. So when you finish, right, you and your partner, you're laying there in bed, you've had a bit of a kiss, you've gone, oh, I love you, or I love you too, or whatever your safe words are, you know, things like that. It's all finished. You slide out, right? You reach down, grasp the condom, slide it off the end. What greets you? A little picture of Leonard as a hobbit. What greets you? Raj is that one from the Star Treks. You know, we do a mix-up, right? What greets you? It's Howard with a lightsaber, right? You can go to your girlfriend or your partner. You go, look, what's on my dingle? And she's like. She kind of just gets hold of it, like, you know, because it's shrinking now because you finished all up. Gets hold of it, maybe by the testicles, and just holds the foreskin as it look at. Oh, that's brilliant! That look at the work on that. What I have found in the prototyping is when you're engorged, it looks in scale, but then when you shrink, it kind of gets weirdly scrunched up because the skin's not really working.
Yeah, as is natural. Yeah,
as is natural. So I don't know, like, how long they'd look good for. But, I mean, I think it's a really good idea.
How long do those tattoos last?
About 6 to 8 months.
Right.
Like, but we use, like nearly actual tattoo ink. So, like, it almost, like, stains the penis.
But how does it penetrate the skin? Is there, like tiny needles on the
inside?
inside?
No, I'm using that like basically it's kind of like a wet package on the inside, and the semen dissolves the kind of the
lining
plastic.
of the plastic.
The lining of the plastic, and then the ink. Like, it's like a big rubber stamp. Like, the ink just sinks slowly into the penis skin.
I can imagine that becoming a bit deformed, like the actual image of it.
Well, I mean, the last time I took it off, and Howard did look like Alf. So that was a problem. But that might have been because I was using an old batch where I'd put the Alf ones inside already. This is about the 8th or 9th time I've done it. Like, I'm trying to be moving it to, like, cultural, what's next big in culture.
You're always about 5 steps behind culture, I noticed.
I know, and that's the problem. Like, by the time I built the prototype, everyone's moved on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Like my wife and kids or something, you know. By the way, they didn't work out either. Just a whole big thing with them.
No, apparently my wife and kids condoms doesn't sound good.
You know, that might have been a naming issue.
It probably was a bit of a PR nightmare, yeah.
Speaking of issue, they've got a really good slide down thing to keep all the semen inside.
Right.
So that's always good.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the tattoos. So what happens if you were to use more than one condom of the Big Bang Theory variety within, say it was 6 to 8 months?
Yeah.
Would you just have a tattoo on top of your tattoo?
Well, the ink could kind of bleed together, unless you put the condom upside down, so then you got, like, who's that peeking out from under the shaft? Oh, it's Raj from the Big Bang Theory. Hello, Raj. You know, like, it's going to be like a bit of lovely foreplay. What's on your penis today? It's a lightning bolt with Bazonga written underneath it. I'm going to give that a kiss. Bang. There we go.
Honestly, I think it's actually a brilliant idea, and as we know, the Big Bang Theory is going to be the cornerstone of culture for years to come.
I think with this one, we've got a good, 10 years left in this.
Oh, yeah, I mean, they're never going to stop writing them.
So, I mean, let's say, for instance, people really like it now they're 14.
Yeah.
10 years from now, they're 24. They've been using those condoms for, the last...
Not if they've been watching the Big Bang Theory, they've not seen another woman naked.
This may be the fundamental... There's a product in this, but there's no actual call for it. Like, no one's going to need one if they're really into the Big Bang Theory.
Well, I've got one final selling point that I think would really, really push these.
Yes.
You know how you sometimes get flavoured condoms? You know, it tastes like strawberries, all bananas.
Yes.
What if we get the condoms, like you say, has a picture of the character's face on it, to taste like the character? I'd imagine they'd all just kind of taste like sweat and pizza. Which...
they just all taste very sort of bland. And is underwritten a taste? Can you get something to taste underwritten?
Can you taste something and go, oh, that joke didn't sit very well?
Can you just taste something and just think, you know what, this just isn't for me?
Can you get that? Do you ever get that sort of like a sensation on the back of your tongue that's like, oh, that's a laugh track?
Yeah, can you make it taste like canned laughter? I wonder. I'll have to go back to the drawing board and just start rubbing mustard on everything, and then just see how I get on.
Be sure not to put it on the inside this time.
Yeah, because that did lead to a very, very severe water infection. It really smelled.
Okay, and I think that concludes the St. Shriven's primary head of department meeting. I'll just reiterate our names just for safety reasons. You were Richard Richardson, head department of things
Science?
unnatural science. That's the thing. And
I prefer science to things are natural, but...
Yep, and I am Philip Kajagugu, head of pretty much everything else, actually. Just to go over the minutes of the meeting, we've established that the chocolate fountain in the staff room is more important than fire extinguishers.
And textbooks.
And also the police haven't found the boy, so there's no evidence.
So I think...
That's it. Thank God that was a short one, because I could feel the ketamine wearing off. Okay, so same time... Oh, before I leave, I best bring it up to you, just so we're all prepared. As you know, the Year Sixers, they're putting on a performance, the end-of-year performance soon. And, you know, this year we decided we'd let the kids pick what the play was going to be.
It means less work for us, right? We're not going to write a script or anything like that. They can pick, they can do it all.
Yeah, that was the intention. So one of the kids went into the library and found a book to do a play on. And, now, stay seated... But they found that book.
Ah.
The one that's cast in human skin and dyed with the blackest black known to man.
Yes. Now, I did think when I wrapped barbed wire around that and put a post-it on there saying teacher's use only, I thought we were okay, but obviously that the barbed wire and the little post-it must have fallen off.
Honestly, the fact that we still had it in the non-fiction section in the library might have been a bit of a negative point.
Yeah, I mean, my kind of thinking was children rarely ever look in the non-fiction section.
Well, no,
These
especially...
kids are thick as shit.
Well, that's the thing, especially considering we keep it behind a false wall, and you have to evade several Aztec-style boulders and traps to get to it.
I did think well, there was a lot more Indiana Jonesing going on around the school than there used to be. Lots of people going dun 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 dun, and I'll go, that's the A-Team, you bloody morons.
I noticed little Billy Bobby did get a whip and a fedora for Christmas.
Yeah, I thought that was because of like who his parents are. You know, the wife swapper people.
Yes.
I thought that he'd just kind of acquired those and gone, oh, Mum, Dad, I'd like a whip and a hat like that. And they had to just get him a little child's version just to keep him, appeased. That would explain why there's a lot more kind of safe words going around the playground nowadays, like pork and beans and old Tommy, let me off the swings, my bum's out, and things like that, So it would explain it.
But yeah, I think we need to keep our focus on
I'm getting awfully distracted.
That book, because thankfully... very little of it has been read out aloud at the moment. One of the children has grown a single bat wing, but that's currently not an issue.
I mean, again, it's just a case of, as long as it's one, that's negligible.
Yeah.
If it's a pair, it's then our problem.
I mean, Mr. Harrison, who's in charge of the library, he really should have been keeping an eye on them. But he was, he recently had the operation, now he's got 2 glass eyes... And I kind of feel bad about bringing up anything that he's not spotted.
Now, the other thing is, like, the library's Dewey Decimal System's gone to hell lately. Like, I don't know how he's putting these books away. What, can't he see or something? Like, it's just everywhere, right? You'll give him, like, the kids have started handing in, like, kind of blank notebooks, like, and saying, oh, that's the book I borrowed. And go, oh, thank you very much, off you go. And kids, like, just flat out stealing all my issues of Batman. And I just don't know what to do.
Well, you say you've got an issue with not having any more Batman, but we're soon going to have Batmen if the kids continue doing this.
If the kids continue reading the book, we'll end up with like a whole menagerie of wild and wonderful things that...
So really, you've gained?
Yeah, okay, I can write that down as a loss. I'm happy losing that. That's not a problem. Yeah, the worry is that we need to kind of discourage them from reading any more before any more wild things kick off, because I did see Mr. Henderson, the art teacher, tie a kid to a pole and splash it with holy water, shouting, recant your evil ways, and then blow its head off with a shotgun. Like the beginning the beginning of the new Evil Dead movie. But actually thinking about, when was that book taken?
It would have been Tuesday, I think.
This was Monday.
Oh, he was no. He does this. He tries to he tries to go a bit modern art. Did he have a canvas behind the child?
Yeah.
You see, it's just one of his art pieces. They sell really well. It's one of our main fundings, honestly.
It's all the Swedish billionaires. For some reason they really love it.
Yeah,
Which is strange.
Yeah, I don't think they really have room in the house for it. From what it
is, 18 feet wide.
Yeah, I think they just kind of lick it clean, and then return, because they return the canvas and we just do it again. Like I say, it's a brilliant moneymaker.
I mean, he's making £84,000 a go on these.
Oh yeah, I mean,
if you think about the cost, shotgun shells are what, like £2 a piece?
Well, not even that, honestly, nowadays.
So he's making like £83,999 on each one.
Yeah, and he gives us like nearly all of it. He says, his profit is the art itself, and also the remainders of the body. He's got good connections in the black market.
And not only that, because everyone was complaining last year, wasn't they? Because our class sizes were too big. Not got that problem anymore.
No, not that.
Because
got that
of the
problem.
ritual executions that are happening now.
But back to the performance.
Sorry, I keep getting wildly distracted.
That's all right, because I have inquired with them very cautiously. I didn't want to get too close. His eyes have gone yellow. About how much of the book, or what parts of the book, they are wanting to actually put on as a performance. Mm-hmm. And he said all of it.
Like it's a narrative.
Yeah, which is weird, because that book, it doesn't really have a story. It's just sort of, from what I understand, from what Mr. Henderson has told me, the book itself writes itself as you read it. It tells the reader what it wants to see, and what the reader always wants to see is ultimate dark powers.
So, yeah, that's always strange. Never has anyone read it and got something nice, like a story about a unicorn.
No one's accidentally stumbled across the complete works of Peter Rabbit in that book.
Which you'd think would have happened, statistically speaking.
Million monkeys, million typewriters.
Exactly right. But all it seems to be is dark powers, summoning demons, long penises. I got that one. I was reading that one and it told me how to get a long penis, so...
I did somehow get Stormbreaker once, though.
I just think, like, every once in a while, anti-horrorist books just pop up anywhere, don't
I
they?
think it was just trying to show me true evil, if I'm quite honest.
So, the problem is, because it's an ever-changing narrative, it would become like a Finnegan's Wake kind of scenario. Like, it's not going to have a clear beginning, middle, and end.
Which is what is worrying, because theoretically, this play could and will go on forever, and we don't know how long forever is, because if they start this performance, forever will not be far away.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably get like 45 minutes out of it. People go, oh, let's go for the intermission. They go for the intermission, come back, all of a sudden, the forces of darkness are loose on Earth.
And then they're stood there thinking, what did I miss?
Yeah, because they thought...
Can we ask them to rewind a little bit?
Can we ask them to
Clearly,
go back to the
I've missed a severe plot point.
Because I went out to get some, like, kind of crappy punch in a cup. Now I'm back, and my car keys are gone, and there's a devil horn through my head.
Madame de Moore does make some brilliant punch, though.
It's the worst bit is the cup, really. It's like those cheap plastic things. And if it starts getting hot, they melt. So you're going to have a punch all over your hands.
Yeah, especially if the play goes on.
And this is the real worry, because if the play goes on, like you say, it will never ever end.
Well, it will end, but it will end at the same time as all matter and time itself.
Now, what we could do is we could say we have to pick a different one because we haven't got enough druid cloaks to go around all the children.
No, I've tried that one, and it was weird. Like, the kid blinked and just 1,000 druid cloaks poured from the sky. The sky was crying cloaks.
And, yeah.
Okay, At the moment, I can see no way of delaying this performance, and because of this, I've now had to cancel my meeting next week. It's a disaster. We were going to get more funding for the school, but now that time and the world is going to end, we can't.
Well, I mean, if the time and world's going to end, we don't really need any more money.
I have a thought.
We could just live off, like, sell bottle caps. We could just, like, work off, like a post-apocalyptic system of, like, bartering with bottle caps.
Well, it might...
Or demon souls.
Well, the issue is... Well, then again, I suppose we could trade demon souls. I mean, there's no telling what happens after life. I mean, if all time and matter and everything is gone, then
There must
surely
be something left.
No, you can't just erase matter. That's not scientific. You're the head of science. You should know that.
Mainly what I do is make like little like paper mache volcanoes, and that's it. That's all I do.
Okay, so
and light
Blake-
my cigarettes on my Bunsen burner.
Okay.
That's it.
Let me put this into a paper mache scenario for you. There will be no more paper mache.
Why would you say such a horrible thing?
I know it's a dark time, but okay, I've got an idea as to how we might.
We must say the paper mache.
Richard, don't worry, I've got your back. I think I know how we can spin this so that it's on the child's head, and maybe he gets told off and doesn't get to put on the performance.
Can't we just tie him to a pole and shoot his head off?
He's gotten too powerful. Honestly.
I was worried about that.
No, I'm thinking we go to his mother, show her the book. I know his mother. She's a bit of a dark horse, if you know what I mean. She will read it, she'll see all sorts of horrible, sexual, disgusting depravity, and she will demand that he not put on the performance. Trust me, he listens to his mother, no matter what. I don't care if he's now like half child, half Dark Lord of the Eldritch Realm. He's gonna be
Every
going to
boy
bed without supper.
Listens to their mother, right?
So I think if we can get around with it and have him be suspended, we can maybe go, well, no, book's not for you. How about we perform Stormbreaker the musical?
So that was my second choice. We could always go for something like we could do like Phantom of the Opera again, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. We lowered the class size a lot that year when we were doing Demon Barber of Fleet Street. But then again, we really have to lower the amount we're saying demon, just in case.
Just in case it like triggers any of them, because I've seen it happen.
They're awfully twitchy.
The mere mention of demon or devil or hell just...
I dropped a book on my foot and said, "Oh, fucking hell, damn it." All of a sudden, big plumes of fire everywhere. I thought, this is all my dreams come true. The paper mache volcanoes have come... They're alive at last. They're real at last. I looked around. No, just magma and sulphur everywhere.
So I think we've gotten around the whole play idea, but... how do we deal with the children with bat wings?
I just think we whack a monkey head on them, like a false monkey head, scream, "Fly my pretties," and then kick them all out.
Wizard of Oz!
We could do the Wizard of Oz!
Oh, you know what, Richard? Honestly, sometimes I feel like the world's working in our favour sometimes.
I feel like the world is working sometimes in our favour, sometimes as well, sometimes.
Did I say sometimes too many times?
Sometimes you do. This one got weird.
This was The Blight Show, as performed by Blake Richardson and Nathan Woodward. If you'd like to support the show, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, what doesn't kill you makes somebody richer. Sweet dreams.